As the dust settles after Israel's war on Gaza, Washington has shifted its focus toward another long-standing flashpoint, its tense standoff with Tehran. The White House appears to be balancing between diplomacy and deterrence, trying to open a door for talks while keeping pressure high. During his visit to Jerusalem, U.S. President Donald Trump once again reached out publicly to Iran, calling for what he described as a new beginning. Addressing lawmakers at the Israeli Knesset, Trump said his administration was ready for a fair and lasting agreement, portraying a possible deal as a major breakthrough for the Middle East. Trump's tone sounded unusually conciliatory. "We are ready when you are, and it will be the best decision Iran ever makes," he said, adding that the hand of friendship and cooperation remains open. The comments came months after Washington and Tel Aviv launched coordinated airstrikes targeting Iranian nuclear sites during a brief but intense military confrontation. Despite his softer rhetoric, experts say the U.S. position remains largely uncompromising. Analysts quoted by Reuters and the Washington Post argue that Trump's gestures are more symbolic than strategic, aimed at signaling goodwill without making concrete policy shifts. The U.S. continues to demand that Tehran stop all uranium enrichment, a red line that Iran refuses to cross. Trita Parsi, executive vice president of the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft, told Al Jazeera that Washington's actions have weakened pro-diplomacy voices inside Iran. After the strikes in June, many Iranian officials began to see U.S. diplomacy as a trap, a way to buy time while keeping Tehran under pressure, he said. Tehran, however, has not completely shut the door. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi recently said on state television that his government would consider any reasonable and balanced proposal from Washington. He stressed that Iran wants talks based on mutual respect, not unilateral demands. Still, Iran boycotted an Egypt-hosted summit on Gaza this week, accusing Washington of double standards and pointing to continuing U.S. sanctions and military strikes. That decision highlights the deep mistrust overshadowing any future dialogue. Negotiations over Iran's nuclear program remain frozen since the June bombings. The last attempt to restart them collapsed when Israel launched preemptive attacks days before diplomats were set to meet in Geneva. Western nations say Iran's enrichment levels must return to near zero to avoid weaponization. Tehran calls the demand unacceptable and illegal. Under the 2015 Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, JCPOA, Iran was allowed limited uranium enrichment under strict international monitoring by the IAEA. But when the U.S. withdrew from the deal in 2018, Tehran gradually expanded its nuclear activities again, arguing that Washington had violated its commitments first. Iran insists that its nuclear work is purely civilian, permitted under the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, NPT. The Iranian Foreign Ministry said in a statement cited by Press TV that enrichment is Iran's sovereign right and cannot be negotiated away. The disagreement over enrichment remains the single biggest roadblock. While Trump claims he wants a stronger and longer agreement, Iranian officials argue that Washington's current stance leaves no space for compromise. As one senior European diplomat told AFP, both sides are talking about peace, but neither is ready to blink first. For now, the U.S. Iran thaw that Trump spoke of in Jerusalem seems more like a distant dream than an imminent deal.